Did you grow up with a mother whose happiness depended on whether a man was in her life or not? Confusing, wasn't it? A mother whose happiness depended on whether a man was in her life, but who also believed that the man was the solution. Therefore, if a man wasn't in her life, assumed that the things that were falling apart was because there was no man in her life. You watched her shrink herself to keep someone. You watched her accept even less than the bare minimum and called it love. You watched her ignore what hurt her. You watched her defend what disrespected her and silenced her own needs just to avoid being alone. And when there was no man, the home felt heavy. Everything felt darker, like the world was ending. Very quiet or angry, one extreme or the other. So without anyone sitting you down and saying this, having a man means you're okay. Not having one means something is wrong. That's what your little child eyes saw, right? It's something you observed. It's something that you learned. It's something that you were conditioned into. And that does something to a child. You start to equate love with instability. You learn that chaos is normal. You internalize that partnership is survival. You may even grow up fearing being single, fearing being alone. Not because you want love so badly, but because you were taught that being alone equals misery. But here's the truth that you may be waking up to already. The men were never the solution. They were coping mechanisms. They were never the solution. They were distractions. They filled the voids. They distracted from the noise that was inside of her. The loneliness, the lack of self-love, the lack of self-relationship, the parts of her that were unhealed and unseen. Every new relationship wasn't saving her life. It was postponing her confrontation with herself. So when there was no man and things were being messy, the man just came in and only became a mirror of the internal messiness. And what's the hardest part about this? You might see those pieces inside of you. You might recognize those patterns within you, if you haven't already. Maybe you've tolerated things you shouldn't have. Maybe you feared the quiet after a breakup. Maybe a part of you still believes that love will finally make everything feel steady. If that's true, you're not broken. You are patterned. And patterns can be unlearned. So your mother, her inner world was crying for help, but she kept looking outward. And you get to turn inward instead. You get to build a life that doesn't collapse when someone leaves. You get to learn that companionship is beautiful, but it is not your oxygen. You are allowed to want love. You are allowed to crave partnership, but you are no longer confusing it with salvation. Healing this wound is not about blaming her. It's not about blaming your mother. It's about seeing clearly. It's about choosing differently. It's about saying, I will not abandon myself just to feel chosen. You are not here to repeat her story. You are here to end it. And that is brave. I see you. I feel you. I see you and I feel you, and you're doing amazing. The healing works. The healing works.